I got, I got. What's going on? What's happening, people? What's happening, people, man? As you already know, man, we a little bit behind, a little bit late. That's my fault. K Styles was on the hibernation side of the game and forgot what time it was. So, my bad. And you tuning in to the heavy hitters, as you already know. It is Wednesday. I've already said my name. To my stage left, as you know him as Senator Mad, aka Mad Mike Sports.
Oh, it ain't my fault. I can say that today, y'all.
What the hell ever. And as you already see at the bottom of the screen, we already got the minister, the calm before the storm. Mr. Jude Talk Sports is in the building, and he's on mute right now. He's on the Pootie Tang side of the game.
What up, people? I'm
What's
definitely on the
going
Pootie Tang. What up, man?
on? Yeah. That was just me introducing myself. So, hey, what's going on, people, man? Hey, as we might, what are the three words that we always set the shows off with? It's the what,
The real cow.
and as y'all already know, we definitely appreciate everybody and the roll call for this evening. We're gonna kick it off with Smooth C78. We got ATL Leo, D Sloan, Georgia, Texas boy. Auntie Pam is in the building, y'all. Eric Mack, JB. We got my boy. We got my boy Juan, the therapist, is in here. Uh, D. Kobe talk about shine your pity on the running kind. Yeah, yes, sir. That's what we do around here. For those that ain't watched Pootie Tang, I think it's free on YouTube right now with ads.
Mm-hmm.
So if you hadn't seen it, go ahead and watch the foolishness that came behind that. But hey, let's go ahead and get right into it, fellas. How we doing this evening? How we doing this evening?
Forgive me. All I ever asked for.
Okay. He sound like he's
I've,
feeling
I've,
good
I've
right
been
now.
I've been listening to slow
My
chemical,
well, man,
aka the Kane theme song, y'all. I've been listening.
nah.
That's been on my mind all day.
What do you say? Stop making fun of me. Jew, man.
Yeah.
How you doing? How you doing this evening, Jew?
Man, I'm chilling, man. All is well.
All is well. That's good, man. That's good, man. It's the day before the fourth. Well, the day before barbecue day, as we call it. Doing good, man. Hey, let's go ahead and get right into it. Hey, is there anything y'all want to get off y'all chest before we go ahead and get to the main topic?
I'm chilling. I don't know if Mike got something. I don't got nothing, man.
Okay.
I mean, I always have something, but I'll chill today.
Okay.
Well, I mean, Fred has a question. He said he got a question.
Well, let's see what we got here. He said, by the NFL Sunday ticket lawsuit, does that direct TV customers will get paid? I had Sunday ticket for 7 years. Um, I have no idea. Is more information coming out on that? For those that may not know what Fred Bus is talking about, the NFL has been ordered to pay up to $4.7 billion for commercial and local customers for illegally jacking up prices on the NFL ticket.
Hmm.
So I think customers may get refunded. I don't know how much though. Like you said, it's just more information to come out on that. So yeah, that's all I
Man,
that's all I can really say on that.
I had Direct TV myself, so and I got the Sunday ticket because of direct TV because of Sunday ticket. So hopefully, but I'm not counting on it.
Right, right. But
Just give us free out of market games and all will be forgiven. Get everybody
Right,
that's
free.
pretty.
right, 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 right.
I think that's pretty much what they're gonna do. I
Mm-hmm.
think that's pretty much what they're gonna do. Cause what it was the out of market games. They were uh, backsliding on some of the out of market games for customers, and customers didn't like it. And coming to find out, and Mike said it in the short I put out earlier, where you'll sign up for this, but then that first bill come up, then all of a sudden now the price is about 2 times more than what you thought you signed up for.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly what happened to me.
That's why Streamies Live is my best friend because it's free.
Right.
Indeed.
Exactly. But I want to give a shout out to Tubi. They actually put out my movie Surf Ninjas. I ain't seen it in about 30 years. Maybe it brought a tear to my eye because that was a incidental birthday gift. So I give a shout out to Tubi outside of the bullshit movies they got on there now. They actually put a good one on there. Let's
I
go ahead and
might
get
too because they got Dog the Bounty Hunter, and I look that was my I never missed an episode of that one, so um I I I fell asleep on it
they got all my
on the
kung
first episode.
they got all my kung fu movies on there. So I definitely give a shout out to them. Actually, right now I'm finishing up To Kill with Intrigue right now. So y'all may get a review of that couple a little bit down the line. Just letting y'all know. Um, Bad Boy Smoke said his birthday coming up on the 5th. On the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fifth.
Fifth.
All right, man. Like you said, shout out to you, man. Shout out to you.
Yes, indeed, sir.
But let's go ahead and get right into it tonight, man. As we already have the conversation at hand.
Mhm.
I want to ask y'all a question. How did y'all and we've already answered this thing about a billion times, but I just want to ask this again. How did we feel about Atlanta Falcons free agency this offseason?
I think we did a pretty good job, to be honest. I mean, you went out, they did a lot more than I thought they was going to do, to be honest with you. Like I didn't see the Desmond Ritter trade coming. Um,
Right.
to be honest, like I didn't see any of the moves that we made, like the Darnell Mooney, the Rondell Moore caught me off guard. Um, I thought it would go after a corner. Like I was shocked that they didn't go after a corner like in the draft. They mainly just went with like veteran guys, but I think we did a good job of like adding depth. That's what they did, in the free agency and
Mhm.
in the draft. Really, they just built depth. They got players to me that play roles. They really didn't go after star players like the big name star, big splash signings. To me, they went out and got, they added depth. So you got a lot of players that can do similar things. So if you have somebody go down with injury, you got somebody that can step up. Because to me, Rondell Moore and Mooney, they pretty much are similar. And you guys check out my video I did about those two guys. Like both of those guys are fast, shifty, wide receivers, quick, you know, dangerous with the ball in their hands, explosive athletes. And I really feel like that's what the Falcons tried to do is just add as much depth as possible, even on the defensive side of the ball. They really didn't add any really big name guys. They went out and just got guys that would fill a role. So I mean, I like what we did in free agency because you guys know I believe in strength in numbers, and we know injuries are going to strike at some point. And last season, it seemed like right around week 8 is when we start having those injuries. Grady went down, Yamada went down, and then when you have those guys go down, it's like you got to have somebody that can step up. And this year, I mean, this team is like loaded, especially on the defensive side of the ball. When it comes to the trenches, we got even in the secondary. I mean, I don't know who's going to make this roster, and I keep saying like I feel like we've been saying this for the last couple years. Like I really feel like this is going to be a hard roster to make, even for guys that's been on the roster for a little while, because it's a new coaching staff. So they brought in guys that's going to compete, with the guys that were already here. So I really feel like nobody's safe outside of the Jesse Bates, outside of the Grady Jarrett's, those guys are safe. But the guys they brought in, like in the secondary, outside of AJ Terrell, It really is not anybody that can say like, yeah, I'm good. I can rest easy knowing that I'm gonna have a starting spot or I'm gonna get a lot of snaps. Like I really feel like everybody's gonna be fighting for their spot.
Okay. Now, Mike. Now, the reason why I asked you that question was, and he kind of brought up really the reason why I wanted to come up with this conversation tonight, and it's the battle for the wide receiver two. As we already know, most likely is going to be Darnell Mooney. But my question to you, to this, Mike, why does it seem like with all that's gone on in free agency, it seems like Darnell Mooney is the one that is least talked about of everybody that we done got this offseason? Before we get to that, we got a $2 super chat from the boy Fred Buss. Said, I think we had the best free agency in the league. Yeah. Well. According to everybody else, they say we had the worst one. But damn them. But appreciate it, Fred. But Mike, why do you think, and everybody chime in as well, why do you think Darnell Mooney was, as I call it, the forgotten free agent signing? Because it seemed like Rondale Moore is getting more coverage than Darnell Mooney amongst media and amongst Falcon media within itself.
I mean, he don't wear, Gucci, Prada, Jordan shoes. Um, he's not dating Kim Kardashian. He's not best friends with Gucci Man and Ti. Uh, to the best of my knowledge, so I don't think he's very popular. But I'm kind of, uh, I'm gonna just be real, man. Like I'm kind of, see, I'm kind of surprised, to be honest, because like y'all, a lot of people went out of their way you know, to act for a guy that was actually his quarterback, and his quarterback was obviously Justin Fields. And yes, I'm gonna be a little petty here because um, I think it's to be, I think it's necessary. Because for me, this is gonna be a situation that I'm gonna keep a close eye on, because I like to sing, and this song that I like to sing, I really want to be singing it this year. So I really think he's going to be one of those wide receivers. If you look at his numbers, it's like he put up pretty big numbers of a guy that was perceived to be a bust at quarterback. And you look at Darnell Mooney that particular year, it's like, look at his stats, man. Like, this dude is 1,000-yard receiver. So um it's 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 baffling. Like, you look at his first year, all right. You just look at this year, and this is why, like, this is gonna be pretty good. But I'm gonna just get a first. Oh, no, I'm gonna give out four. First year, his rookie season, 61 catches, 604 touchdowns. His best season in 21, 81 catches, 1,000 yards, 4 touchdowns. And then his last couple of years kind of been disappointing. And 40 catches, 493, and then last year 31 catches, 414. So this guy, for the most part, has always averaged over up to 10 yards a catch. So this guy is a deep threat. He's a big play guy. So it really kind of baffles me that no one, and I'm not talking about fans, is really the guy that's supposed to be experts at this. And no, like, these guys are supposed to be experts, and then nobody's talking about him. Like, no one is giving him any type of They're not giving him any type of talk. Like they're not giving him any attention. So that's what we're gonna have. This is exactly what we're going to talk about today.
Okay. Now, Jew, based on what Mike said, is it that stigma of Justin Fields not fulfilling the expectation that he had in Chicago is the reason why a lot of people are downplaying Darnell Mooney or kind of blaming Darnell Mooney for Justin Fields not filling up to his.
I don't think it's that necessarily with Darnell Mooney. I really feel like it really to me it don't have a lot to do with Justin Fields. To me, it has a lot to do with he played for the Bears. Like if you guys think about it, what Chicago Bears wide receiver like do you hear about? Even with DJ Moore having a good season last year, you really don't hear about certain teams. They just don't get the press like the Falcons. To be honest, I really feel like we have a lot of players like Drake London that's being slept on. We are always slept on to me. Only time I really feel like the Falcons were like a team that was in the media, ESPN and stuff like that was when we had Michael Vick. We just be completely honest. And that's because he was explosive, and he was a guy that you could put on the top 10, sports center highlights and things of that nature. So I really feel like we got a lot of guys on this team that are a lot better. We talk about it off camera a lot, like Tyler Algier and different guys. And I really feel like Darnell Mooney is like a diamond in the rough because I really feel like Chicago's has had players that were good, but they don't get really a lot of credit until they play with a different team. So I really feel like Darnell Mooney is just one of those guys where you don't think about when you think Chicago Bears, you just don't think offense in general. And the guys that you do think about when you talk about the Chicago Bears is mainly running backs, like the Walter Paytons, like the if you guys remember Thomas Jones. I was a huge Thomas Jones fan the
Jones,
year that they
Cedric.
went to the Super Bowl. Yeah, so you really don't think about the wide receiver position just in general, outside of like Brandon Marshall. If you guys remember him when he was with Denver, and then he went over and played with Jay Cutler. But outside of that, the Devin Hesters, you don't think about wide receivers just in general because the Bears are not known as a passing team. So I really feel like Darnell Mooney, we got to see firsthand what Darnell Mooney could do because we went to that Chicago game 2 years ago, where I think he scored a touchdown in that game, but he got behind the defense a number of times. They just didn't throw him the ball. So I really feel like he's explosive just in general. So I mentioned
They
Taylor
they
Gabriel.
do they didn't throw on the ball.
Well, Justin Fields didn't throw the ball, but
Thank
yeah,
you, thank you, thank you, thank you for saying that, sir.
That man being petty in hell right now.
I have to, I
right,
have to, I
right.
have to.
Right. And like I said, I just think it's just more about as well. We know the Chicago just don't know how to use their weapons as well. So I'm hoping that things will change this year. But as you mentioned, Justin Fields, whoever's been over there, we know we had who was over there prior to us having them. Dave Ragone was over there. We've seen what Dave Ragone can do. So I don't think none of us is understand, his passing concepts. I don't think anybody is like raving about his passing concepts. So, you know, I just think at the end of the day, Darnell Mooney is going to shock a lot of people just for the mere fact that you're going from Justin Fields to Kirk Cousins, you know? So I really feel like just that is an upgrade in itself. So all of our pass catchers, just in general, I think their numbers are going to be inflated because it's like going from Matt Ryan to when we have Marcus Mariota. It's the same similar thing to like
Hmm.
a Justin Fields.
I
You got
like.
a run first quarterback and then a pass first quarterback. So I think Darnell Mooney's gonna have a big year, but I think everybody, Kyle Pitts, all of them guys, I'm saying all of their numbers are gonna go up just off the fact that you got a quarterback that can get the ball to you, anywhere on the field, and he knows where to look and where to throw the ball with anticipation. So it's the similar Matt Ryan. Like we said, you're gonna get if you got the quarterback that can actually throw the ball consistently and accurately, you're gonna get your stats. You know what I'm saying? So this is the year for all of those fantasy football players. This is the year to actually get the Falcons wide receivers, running backs, because they're gonna actually put up numbers this year because you got a quarterback that understands how to get the ball out on time.
I like the way you talk. Do do do.
I'm mad about that that too because, like I said, Kirk Cousins has been my go-to fantasy football quarterback for 7 years now since his time in Washington, and now I ain't gonna get a chance to get him because everybody and their mama gonna get him, and that's what I'm
Uh-huh.
mad about. But like you said with Darnell Mooney, I'm gonna take a play out of Drew's book on this one as far as talking about the Ferraris in the garage um, acronym, not acronym, but situation. Like when we're looking at Darnell Mooney, we're looking at how this offense is going can be portrayed. I don't want a lot of people to look at him and expect him to be a 1,000 yard receiver. You got too many sports cars right now.
Uh-huh.
But I'm kind of glad that he's kind of under the radar as far as everybody, all the skill position players here, because he's the guy. He is the guy who has proven to be a big play guy. But with him not being on the radar, it's almost similar to the Taylor Gabriel situation. But Taylor Gabriel wasn't like a big name guy beforehand anyway. He didn't really put up big numbers like that, but he was a big play guy who just needed to be in the right system or have the right guy throwing him the football. And Kirk Cousins and Darnell Mooney can be one hell of a connection for this team for big plays. That's all I have to say about that.
How I just think personally, um, when you just have a team that's has so many weapons, don't expect to see too many 1,000 yard receivers. You're just not going to see it. Um, it was the same thing with Julio Jones um, in his second year under Kyle Shanahan. Didn't have as nearly as many yards as he had the previous year because he had more weapons. Like your first year with him, he was pretty much a only target. So when you have so many weapons and tools, I like you have so many options. Like and most teams, they always going to take away their best option. So in this particular instance, uh, teams got to figure out who it is the best option. Who is the best player for this offense? Because we really don't know. Outside of Kirk Cousins, like and how teams are going to have to start the season, they're going to have to send blitzes early because for one, you got to figure out who's the guy. We don't know if it's going to be Bijan, or we don't know if it's going to be KP. We don't know if it's going to be Drake. Like teams, they really don't know who's going to be the starter of this offense. So that's something that the Falcons have. Um, that's really something that they have. The advantage that they have with most teams because of that particularly. Like we can assume that Drake is the guy. We can assume that KP is the guy. We can assume that Bijan is the guy. But until we see what Zach Robinson wants to do with his offense, um, teams are just not going to. So the Falcons are going to put up a lot of numbers early because teams just don't. This is not Arthur Smith's offense, so they don't know. No, they don't know what to expect. And I think too, there's two things you're going to see a lot of. Is a lot of big plays early and you're gonna see these big offensive linemen kick these guys behind. They're gonna destroy these defensive linemen because you just don't know what you have no clue what's going to happen. So I think you're gonna see a lot of numbers being put up early in the season with the Atlanta Falcons because teams just don't know what to expect. They don't know expect. I honestly don't know. Like we haven't heard much. It's probably been one of the worst. um reporting years in NFL history, not just with the Atlanta Falcons, because like nobody's reporting anything when it comes down to training camp, minicamp, and OTAs. Like nobody's reporting anything, so nobody knows anything. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting, man.
Yeah. And I kind of agree with that. Like I said, this offseason has been one of the most boring off seasons for a lot of people. Just for the simple. And I want to ask everybody watching here, despite everybody saying that this was a successful off season, don't you kind of get the feeling that this is a boring off season? And the reason why I'm saying that, and I think the reason why a lot of people are not really reporting a lot of things anymore, is because the Falcons fulfilled the prophecy that everybody's been begging for damn near 10 years now. A new quarterback. Because the quarterback position was really the only position anybody really ever wants to talk about. And now that the Falcons have fulfilled that, a lot of those people that you normally would hear beating their chest and talking loud and stomping and shit about they got nothing to say now because the prophecy has been fulfilled. And now the very people that only focus on the quarterback and only focusing on the team's struggles because they didn't draft a quarterback, they are now forced to actually pay attention to the team now. And those people don't know what to do. What you think about that, Drew?
I agree with you. I definitely agree. Like it's no more clickbait or every quarterback that has been cut from his team is coming to the Falcons. What you see on Twitter, like anytime a player
Oh
get
boy.
cut, released, oh, the Falcons, the Falcons, the Falcons. Now that we've handled that took care of that position and wrapped that up. Now it's at this point, I really feel like this Falcons team is going to look a lot like I seen Fred Butts in the chat saying, "Is this going to be like 2016?" I do think it's going to be like 2016, but I really feel like this offense is going to look a lot like Minnesota and like the LA Rams offense look. A lot of 11 personnel, a lot of three wide receivers. Like you and Mike were saying, I don't think that you're going to have three guys get over 1,000 yards receiving, but the ball's going to get thrown around a lot. And I kind of went and looked up KJ Osborne's numbers that plays with the Vikings because I think that Darnell Mooney is going to be like that third guy. I really feel like it's going to go Kyle Pitts, Drake London, Bijan, and then everything else will be like Darnell Mooney, Rondell Moore. So if you want to know like what his numbers are going to be like, I really feel like he's going to be like a KJ Osborne. He'll be like around 600, 700 yards receiving, between 500 and 700 yards receiving for a
Hmm.
unless one of those top guys get hurt. Like God forbid Drake or Kyle Pitts go down. Okay, Darnell Mooney step up. But that's why I say I kind of like this team because you got guys that can do multiple things. Like Darnell Mooney with the Bears, at one point he was their number one wide receiver. Then he went out and got DJ Moore. He was their number two. But the good news is if somebody does go down, he's comfortable with being a number two option or a number one option. So that's the good thing about having the depth because I feel like in years past, we had a huge drop off. Like if you guys remember the years that Julio went down, the years that we didn't have Mohamed Sanu anymore, you had guys like a Russell Gage that wasn't ready to step up into that big role of being like a number one or number two. So I really feel like it's a benefit in having, you know, the Darnell Moonies, guys that are not afraid of the big moment and that has played bigger roles on other teams. So I really feel like that's a huge benefit of having a Darnell Mooney is that you have multiple guys that can step up if you need somebody to step up. And I really feel like that's really what hurt our team the last couple years under Arthur Smith. You guys know we were in cap hell. So we just didn't have depth as far as when somebody went down, the drop off between your number one or your first string guys to your second and third string guys was a huge dip. So I think that that's something you guys are going to notice this year. Is like, dang, if a guy had to miss a game because of an ankle sprain, or because guys are going to miss 1 or 2 games, that's just a gimme. You're going to have somebody that can step right in, and you're not going to notice that huge drop off. And I see K Styles holding his head just a moment ago. Like you remember those years, man, having guys like Christian
Back,
Blake,
back.
You know,
bro, you just brought back the memory of Russell Gage and Tajay Sharp running into each other on Thursday Night Football.
yeah,
You and they both was wide open.
yeah, man. So that's the thing that we're not
Pat
gonna have to
Ryan
worry
put it
about
on.
this
He
year.
put it on the spot where either one of them could have called it, but the problem was they both ran into each other and neither one of them called it. Go ahead, you. Go
I
ahead,
mean,
you.
that's pretty much it. Now one thing I can say that last year when you talked about the number two, I was disappointed last year with Matt Hollins. I thought he was going to be a lot better than he was for our team last year. And I kind of wanted to just talk a little bit about Mohamed Sanu. You know, when we had Mohamed Sanu here, I really feel like he was like the perfect number two wide receiver because he was a guy that wouldn't beg for the football, but he was like Mr. Reliable. He would block, he would do whatever the team needed him to do. So I just hope the guys that we have that's playing those roles, like a Darnell Mooney, I hope that those guys don't get antsy because because he's been a number two, sometimes that can be a bad thing as well. It can go either way. You can have a guy that's willing to like take a back seat and like when I'm open, I'll get the ball, or you can have one of them guys on the sideline throwing their helmet. And we've seen, it can go one or two ways. So I hope that Darnell Mooney is coming with the right mentality. I think he will because he's been with the Bears and they've done a lot of losing over the last couple of years. So hopefully him losing a couple games, he's coming in with the right attitude. But sometimes having a lot of guys that are alphas, that could be a bad thing as well. So he's saying all the right things right now, but I want to see how it's going to play out, with this season and his targets and stuff like that. So, but Mohamed Sanu is one of those guys that I think that he's one of my all-time favorite players because to me, he complemented the number one, which was Julio at the time, so well because he was not a guy that was a diva. Like he was a guy that would do the dirty work. Anything you asked Mohamed Sanu to do, whether it was throw the football, whether it was to run the football, run the wildcat, he did whatever we needed him to do. He was that the ultimate utility type guy. So you guys know that I'm huge on glue guys that are going to do whatever it takes to win games. And I think that goes overlooked a lot. And we haven't really found, to me, that guy that can support the number one guy. So hopefully Darnell Mooney could be one of those guys.
Well, I don't trust him. I don't trust wide receivers. I don't care for them. Look, if I'm gonna I have taken on the Jew philosophy for running backs when it comes down to wide receiver. Every 3 to 4 years, I'm drafting a new one. Okay, I do not want these son of a guns on my team. Why? Because everybody gonna want $30 million. So heck no, until he proves to me that he's willing to do what it takes for the team, I do not trust Mooney. I don't trust none of these guys. I'm not paying these guys $20-30 million to sit up here and talk about how much money and how many catches that they did. Because this is exactly what happened to your boy. Who you were just talking about, you? Good God Almighty. Look, Mac Hollins. That's who it is. Mac Hollins. He came in here thinking he was gonna get 40, 50 catches and stuff like that, and then ended up didn't do anything. He had his opportunities and he failed. So I do not trust wide receivers at all. I think they're all selfish. And to be honest, it's not even them that killed it for me. Julio Jones killed it, AB killed it, all them guys, they killed it for me. And so until I see a wide receiver that's really down to and look, don't try to act like I'm the only one. Don't look,
Yeah, I
y'all know
mean,
y'all feel the same way that I feel. I'm just verbalizing. Y'all know y'all don't trust Julio Jones. You didn't trust Calvin Ridley. What happened to Calvin Ridley? He took his ass, he took his ass home and wanted to be a damn gambler. And guess what? It cost him a heck of a lot of money. You know dang gone well y'all don't trust these wide receivers today. These guys up here, they catch a hunt. They have one season with 1,000 yards, and then all of a sudden they think they Julio Jones, they think they Jerry Rice, and they deserve 30, 40 million and $200 million contracts. Y'all know y'all don't trust them either, so don't try to act like I'm the only one, and and y'all don't feel this like y'all don't trust them either. And that's why Jude just said himself, he's saying all the right things now. but he gonna have to prove that he's willing to be a team player.
I mean, the track record for a lot of these wide receivers breaking out is really been very chaotic the last 4 or 5 years. So you got a point on that. Like you said, you started with Julio, then you go with Michael Turner, not Michael Turner, but Michael Thomas.
Michael Thomas. They've shown us. They've shown us they can't be trusted. This ain't nothing against this one particular guy. These are wide receivers. They worse than DBs. I thought DBs was supposed to be the one that's selfish and wanted all the money, but it's these wide receivers. You can't trust them for nothing. They had 1 good year, 2 good year where they the best of the best of the best, and now they want to break the bank. Now CeeDee Lamb up here talking about he want $30 million a year. You CeeDee Lamb. Bro, you a glorified number 2. You've done a very good job of being the center of attention in Dallas. Okay, let's keep that real. He's not that great of a wide receiver. He's a reliable number 1, but when it comes down to taking over games, CeeDee Lamb will never be that.
And I think with Brandon Ayuk wanting the money that he wants the Justin Jefferson contract. There's the issue right there. Can Justin Jefferson get those same numbers without Kirk Cousins?
And that right there, that's exactly what I say. Wide receivers have to prove they have to prove things like a T.O. did, like a Roddy White did, like a Jerry Rice did. These guys came from the absolute gutter, from the trash, from the bottom, and proved that they are number 1. These guys are not proving anything. Y'all have a couple of good years, and you whining and crying about how much money y'all want.
Roddy White went from the city wanting him gone to him being one of the most beloved players in Atlanta.
Yeah. I think the problem is, like we talked about last week. I don't know if we talked about it after the show or on the show, but you just got to know who you are. Everybody think that they're the top dog, and I'm not a fan of because I'm the next guy up, I should be the highest paid guy. I think that the quarterbacks then ruin football. Let's just be real about it. Their contracts and the way
Indeed.
are structured, it's like, if I'm the next guy up, then I deserve to jump the guy who got paid before me. And I'm like, I don't necessarily agree with that. It's like, if you own that guy's level, okay, sure. But I feel like the numbers that Justin Jefferson, that contract that he got, I don't see nobody outside of like a Jamar Chase, like jumping him. Outside of him, Ayuk to me ain't on their level. And a lot of people might think that I'm wrong, but this is my opinion. Ayuk is not on Justin Jefferson's level or Jamar Chase level. He's to me like a tier below them. So you got to kind of know who you are. I'm all for guys getting their money, but you got to be realistic as well. Like Mike was saying, if you put Ayuk on a team, is he a legitimate number 1 wide receiver? My answer would be no. He's good like that because he's on a team with George Kittle, Christian McCaffrey, all of these other guys. So he got to look around and read the room and like, okay, yeah, I'm like you said, I'm a glorified number 2. Like, I'm not what I think I am. Yeah, I'm putting up those big numbers, but would I be putting up those big numbers if they send me to Arizona or they send me to one of these teams that don't have that guy next to me that's going to pull double coverage, and then I'm one-on-one and I can eat. So sometimes you just got to know how to read the room. And that's why I said one thing about Mohamed Sanu, you never heard him saying like, I'm a number 1. He was putting up numbers with us. He was putting up 800-yard seasons, but you never seen him trying to challenge Julio saying like, I'm that guy. You know what I'm saying? He understood his role. So I really feel like that's what players, they start kind of tweaking. Is they think that they like, I'm on that level because I'm putting up these numbers, but they kind of got to read the room and understand like, in every system, it's not always created equal. Because I don't feel like Brandon Ayuk is one of those guys that's going to get busy in any system. Yeah, he's a guy who can run routes, but he's mainly like a slot guy. He's not a guy that you're going to put on the outside and just say, double team, no matter what, just go out there and eat. So I want to see him get his money, but I don't think he's on Justin Jefferson's level. I don't think he's on Jamar Chase level. So if I was, him, and if he was wise, he'll try to get as much money as possible. And to be honest, if I was him, I would be trying to stay on the contender. To be honest, I would be trying to stay with the 49ers, get as much money as I can, but at least win the Super Bowl every other year and take my chances. I wouldn't want to be shipped to a team like the Bears or one of these teams that as one of these bottom feeder teams. You're gonna make money, but you're not gonna win games.
And speaking of Julio Jones, you talk about somebody that fell off the face of the earth after he left Atlanta.
Yeah, that's another one of those
Talk about
situations. That's another one of those situations, and like this probably be a controversial hot take too, but I think we got to stop saying that I want everybody to get their money. I don't want you to get your money. I want you to earn your money. I don't think everybody shouldn't be getting money. Let's keep that real. Some guys should not be getting it. Look, if you get money, if you're getting $15 million to play next to a George Kittle, CMC, and have one of the best offensive coordinators in the game has ever seen, and Kyle Shanahan, like, do you really deserve that? Do you deserve to get your money? Because I think what guys deserve to get money, what they've shown with or without these particular players, they still can do what they can do. And I think that's the thing that has spoiled a lot of these players. It's just like I just want to see everybody win. No, I don't. I want to see you. I want to see you earn your money. I don't want to see you win. I don't want to see guys sitting up here getting paid just to sit around and sit next to me. No. No, we put in our work. We put in work to be able to get to this position. Guys are not you getting paid $20 million a year to have a big. How many times have we seen wide receivers get paid a lot of money because they played next to Julio, Roddy, and Tony Gonzalez, and then they go to another team, get the big contract, and then bam, nothing. No, I don't want to see you get paid. I want to see you earn your money. Didn't we learn our lesson when we signed that Samba gun from Minnesota? We thought he was gonna be a sack master. He played against some good players in Minnesota, and then we end up signing him in free agency. And guess what Mr. Ray Edwards did? Absolutely.
He went from a sack master to a sack of shit in 1 year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Prime example of what I'm talking about. No, I don't want to see you get paid. I want to see you earn it. Okay? You gotta earn it first before you start getting it. And a lot of players don't earn it anymore. They just want it.
Because I think Amon Ra, I think he just got the bag too. So
he did. Detroit gave him the bag.
Dreddy asked a question. So, who would y'all rank number one tier receivers in the NFL that deserve big contracts besides Jetta?
I just said him, Jamar Chase. He the next one. To me, when I'm saying wide receivers, you got to be able to do everything. And you can put Jamar Chase anywhere on the field, he gonna eat. You can send him on any team, he gonna eat. Because he can run every route on the route tree. He can line up anywhere. We seen what he did as soon as he was with the Bengals, rookie season, Super Bowl. That says it all. Like, he proved that he's one of those top dogs. Justin Jefferson, since he's been in the league, has broken everybody's record. Randy Moss, every receiver you want to think about or talk about since he's been in the league, based off of how many years he's been in the league, he's eclipsed everybody's record. He's another guy that can run every route on the route tree. You can't really cover him one-on-one or even really double teaming. You can't cover him. So I feel like Jamar Chase, those to me are the two top dogs. I mean, and then you have the guys that are underneath them, like the Cooper Kupps. And to me, Cooper Kupp is not a guy that I would consider like even on Justin Jefferson's level. See, that's why I think people get twisted. It's like you can play in a system that makes you look like you one of those guys. But I really feel like it's only a few. When you say elite, it's only a few. When I say elite, it's like 2-3 guys. And that's Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase are the only two guys that I can think of, like right off the top of my head, that I would say, like, okay, you put them in any situation, they're going to eat. and then probably Devontae Adams.
I
That's
think
the
you can
three.
throw Tyreek Hill, and I think you can. Tyreek done kind of proved that he can. You
I
throw
got,
him, but even
I don't
that's
even put
kind of
Tyreek on that level.
hey,
even that's kind of shaky because he plays in the slot. I don't know if he
Yeah,
can play on the outside.
I
hey,
don't put him on that level personally.
I got to throw Mike Evans in that level too, because good God,
Yeah, Mike Evans, he's a dog too.
Yeah,
I
Mike
agree with you.
definitely.
You
I
slept
got to
on.
put Mike Evans in there.
Yeah, Mike Evans is up there too.
Cause bro, he done had absolute dog shit throw him the football and
Yeah.
crab legs. So yeah, we've seen.
But I don't put Tyreek on that level. Tyreek, another guy to me that's he can do it, like he can get yardage, and I think he can play probably anywhere. But I don't think if you just line him up on the outside and just say go kill somebody. Well, today's rules, he probably is elite, but I don't put him up there. Like when I talk about TOs and them guys, he's putting up crazy numbers, but I don't think
Yep.
you can put him in any era and he gonna do that. So
Look. This is what I mean by CeeDee Lamb. Okay, let me just because a lot of people just like they look at numbers and say 135. Name any wide receiver on that other team besides CeeDee Lamb. Name any player on that offense besides CeeDee Lamb. I will wait. Look, tell me anybody on that offense besides CeeDee Lamb that you're gonna throw the ball to, that you're gonna get a ball to.
Said, tell me who's the other guy there. Tell me who.
So we just don't say things just to be saying things because it has to be proof. You can't just say because guys have, and this is why guys get overpaid, and this is why teams get screwed because you look at the numbers and you think that he's putting up big numbers or he's elite, but he really is. I wouldn't say a victim, but he is he's a
like he's a
product
product of
of
his environment.
he's a product of environment. Who else ain't gonna get the ball to? We saw
Yeah.
that in 15 with Julio. We didn't have no other wide receiver. We was just throwing the ball to Julio. Julio almost died that damn season. That boy had like 250 targets. Kyle Shanahan almost killed that dang old man. Why? It's because he had almost 200. He had 230, almost 220.
Oh, you know what's crazy? Hold on, let me look at that. You said 2015, right?
Yes, 2015.
I was actually just looking
Yeah.
at that because that was the year that he had tied for
The record for receptions.
203 targets.
203 targets. He had over 200 targets. Some catchers only get 100 targets in a year and 100 catches. He had double that year. So he's literally the only weapon. And this is why you got to be real careful about these numbers. And a lot of teams are being careful with the numbers is because numbers can lie. They can lie to you. And wide receivers, they're taking advantage of some organizations not really looking deep into the numbers.
Okay, so I'm glad you said that because you said Julio had 203 targets. You want me to name you who was who?
Go, please go ahead. Please go ahead.
In receiving yards that year.
Go ahead.
Okay, so in 2015. No, I'm talking about on the Falcons. I'm talking about on the Falcons team.
Oh boy.
Okay, so we know Julio Jones, he had 1871 that year, right? Guess who was number 2 that year?
Oh boy. I'm scared.
Jacob Tammy was 657.
Wow.
Oh boy.
You see what I'm saying? You see how numbers can
Guess who was number 3? Devontae Freeman.
Wow. So no wide receivers even in close. That is crazy.
Roddy White had 506. He was the second wide receiver with the most receiving yards on the team in 2015.
How many?
Leonard Hagerson came after that with 327.
Okay. Yeah, I knew Leonard.
I knew he was somewhere in there, right?
Justin Hardy 194. Nick Williams 159. Tony Moeaki with 58. Levine Toilolo 44. Patrick DeMarco had 110.
Yeah, man.
You see what I'm saying? No, I'm a,
It's
go ahead.
levels. That's what I'm saying, Mike. It's levels. No, it's just levels to it. Like it's tiers. It's tiers.
Mm-hmm.
I think what we can twist, like you said, yes, you can put up numbers, but to me, like for you guys, we just named the guys. So on tier one, it will be we just mentioned. I said Devontae Adams. We said Mike Evans. We said Jay Jettis, Justin Jefferson, and Jamar Chase. To me, those are the only guys that's like really on that level.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what do you guys feel about Diggs? Is he in the next
And the
tier
next
under
tier.
The next
the
tier.
next tier?
Yeah.
So the next tier would be like Diggs, CeeDee Lamb, any of those guys y'all think about, those guys would be in the next tier. I don't think they on those other guys level. That's just me personally. And what to me, this is how I kind of do that. Can you line up anywhere on the field? That's kind of how I look at tiers. And do teams feel like they have to double team you? If teams don't feel like they
Right.
have to double team you, you ain't in the top tier. If you ain't public enemy number one, when that defensive coordinator go to that clicker and he go in front of his defense in that defensive meeting room and say, we got to stop Justin Jefferson. If you ain't one of the first guys out that defensive coordinator's mouth as a pass catcher, you're not in that one tier. And to me, CeeDee Lamb is not a guy, like you said, that to me, he hasn't proved to me that he's taken over games. Like you said, I don't think he's on that level. He could change my mind, but he's not there right now. He's not there right now.
Oh man.
I see Cooper Cup one on one way too many times, especially Cooper Cup and Tyreek Hill. And that's the thing. It's
Yeah.
like it's way too many one on ones in the slot and one on ones on the outside.
And they spend majority of their time in the slot. So what that mean is for the ones that's in the chat, when we talk about guys in the slot, that mean they lining up against your third best corner most of the time. They not lining up against AJ Terrell. They lining up against, so on our team, they would be lining up against Mike Hughes or lining up against one of our third or fourth best corners. So they gonna eat all day because they basically not lining up against the best of the best.
They got the most space out of anybody in the slot. And with Cooper Cup, looking at his numbers after 2021, has played out of a possible 34 games, has played in 21 games.
So they've already drafted his replacement, whether he like it or not.
And his numbers have declined, they've started to go down.
Mm-hmm.
So Puka Nacua is his replacement.
Mm-hmm.
But I wanted to get this comment right here. It's been on the screen for a while. It said the league has to find a way to structure how these players should be evaluated for compensation. If you just evaluate based off the market, then things will continue to be like this. This is exactly what happens when you put the value of the position over the value of the production.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing about it was, this has been an issue for a long time, but now it's become an issue now that Trevor Lawrence got paid. And as crazy as hell that sound like, and somebody put the breakdown on it, Trevor Lawrence ain't did nothing that put the same numbers as Daniel Jones.
It's pathetic.
Yeah. It started getting out of pocket when they paid Jimmy Garoppolo. When he was the highest paid, it
Oh
started
my
getting out of
God.
That's when it got out of pocket. Where they started paying guys like he hadn't even started no games hardly with the Patriots. Went over the 49ers, was the highest paid, guy.
Yeah.
When he got paid, and then when the Giants paid Daniel Jones, that's when I say y'all getting out of pocket. Like it's the one thing to pay the guy, but making these guys the highest paid in the game, that's when you getting out of pocket because you got to look at the guys that are up next. So that's what has messed it up because you got to think about it. If I'm the agent of say like a Trevor Lawrence, and I'm going to the table, I'm like, it ain't no comparison. Daniel Jones to Trevor Lawrence, there's no comparison. Like, so him going to the table, they made it easy for their agent. It was easy for their agent to say, this guy's making this, so my guy gotta jump him because he's way better. Like, it's no comparison. It's not even nobody's gonna even debate that. You know what I'm saying? I'm just being real with you. Who gonna debate that Daniel Jones is better than Trevor Lawrence? Nobody's gonna debate that.
Yeah. And then, like you said, it's not even just the quarterbacks now. We've already said it too. It's the wide receiver positions. It's the pass rushers now. The defensive tackle position starting to get expensive. And with these positions getting expensive, because based on the consensus that since this is a passing league, the quarterback position, the wide receiver position, the pass rusher position are the three most important positions on the football field, according to most football fans. And the thing about it is, by those positions going up here, you got your offensive linemen, your linebackers, your running backs, your safeties, numbers going. So
It sucks.
we just have to get to a point now where it, like I said, the NFL has to get back to a point where they're paying players on production and not position.
That's it. What have you done? Bring your resume, and then we gonna pay off your resume and pay off of what we see. Use your eyes. That's why I be telling these GMs and stuff. Use your eyes. Do Daniel Jones look like he worth the money that he making? Like I don't even watch a lot of Giants games, but when I've seen Daniel Jones play, nothing that I see in his game tell me that he's special. So that would have been a player that I would have moved off of. No disrespect to Daniel Jones. I don't like to count people's pockets, but it's nothing about his game that seems special to me. So I really feel like that's the problem. Like you said, Kay, it's like forget the position that they play. You got to look at everybody as individuals. They all, are individuals. When you turn on the tape, what do you see? Period. We can't say all running backs are not like that because we know we done seen freaking Derrick Henry carrying the Titans for I don't know how long. That dude drugged that team to an AFC Championship game. So we can't sit here and be like, okay, well, we're going to go ahead and pay Ryan Tannehill when they had him at the time over Derrick Henry, when we can clearly see when you watch the Titans, their whole offense is Derrick Henry. So we kind of got to this, like I said, use common sense. We're not using a lot of these gyms and stuff. They're not using common sense. You got scouts in the room for a reason. Use them. The scout's going to tell you. The coach is going to tell you. Use common sense. I don't know how many quarterbacks that Derrick Henry played for when he was there with the Titans, but I know it was more than 3. It was about 3, 4, 5. You know what I'm saying? They went through Tannehill. They went through Malik Willis. They went through Levis, Mariota. Like think about it. That man played with 3, 4, 5, 6. That's to tell you right there that the quarterback position, at least for their team, it won't like that.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get to the Q&A portion of the show, y'all. Man, we got about another 15 minutes. So I'll let you go ahead and get your questions in here. Southside here said that Nick Foles contract by the Jaguars messed him up too. I don't even remember that damn contract. What was the numbers on that contract? Hold on, let me see. Cause I remember he signed with the Jaguars, but I don't remember what that damn contract.
It wasn't particularly long, I don't think.
That was after the Super Bowl, right? After he won the Super Bowl with the Eagles, that he signed with them.
I think so.
Yeah, but that was another thing. Don't be
fooled. It was a $4 million. I mean,
4 year, 88.
It was a $50 million guaranteed. So that's not. It wasn't. I mean, it was a 4-year, 88. Like these quarterbacks these days are getting 4 years. $200-300 million. So
it was up to $102 million with incentives. So pretty much it's pretty much the same damn contract that almost slightly less than what Daniel Jones got. Slightly. But this is what we talk about. And this is why I said, this is why I'm gonna say it and I'm gonna say it again. When you put the price on the position instead of the player production, that's when you get the Trevor Lawrence contract. Tua Tagovailoa is up next.
He about to get the bag too.
He about to get a $300 million contract up here after this year
to throw slants.
It's gonna be about 300 million. It's gonna be close to it. It might be 280, might be 285. It's gonna be close to 300 million. And guess what? Y'all ain't got nothing to do but to blame yourselves because y'all put the position over everything else. And when you put the position, and when the consumer puts a high price tag on a position based on what they deem important, you drive the price up. This is what I'm talking about. This is what economics is. When you make something sound so good, the company is gonna
Supply and demand. That's basically what you're saying. Supply and demand, man. That's
Mm-hmm.
it.
when you demand that the quarterback be the only position that matters, the quarterback becomes the most expensive player on the field. It's crazy as hell that the top three paid players in this league ain't won like a total of maybe two playoff games, two or three.
Yeah, it's embarrassing. But that's why there needs to be a cap on the positions, on positions, period. And it has to be. The thing is, I don't necessarily think that it's solely that. I think the biggest issue with the pay scale is that you don't have like the NBA. You have to have a certain amount of awards or won. Like there, like if you don't, like I think guys, if you haven't won an MVP or been in the X amount of votes for the MVP race, like you shouldn't be like you shouldn't have like you shouldn't even be in the same conversation as a guy that's going to make $50 million. Like you
Right,
have to have like look, you have to have be in that conversation to like I was two votes away from winning the
right.
MVP to even get $50 million. If you ain't got if you wasn't even in the MVP race, like look, don't even come to me. Look, you ain't coming to my office talking about you want a $60 million carrot. Like no, absolutely not. And that's the same thing with running backs and wide receivers. Like you should have certain incentives, certain things that you have to have to win in order to get a certain amount. And I think that's the thing that's wrong with the NFL is that like there's no that's like there's nothing. That's nothing. You just throwing in guys out because they told you that they quite possibly I deserve it, and you taking their word for it. Like you got to prove that.
Exactly. But I about to say, man, Jude, Mike, y'all got any final words y'all want to say before we get up on out of here?
I want to say one other thing. I want to get you guys' opinion on it because this is like right in the same vein of what we're talking about. If you guys were the Dallas Cowboys GM, would you guys pay Dak Prescott $60 million? Because I wouldn't do it. I'm sorry, I wouldn't do it. But I want to get you guys' opinion on it since we're talking about the quarterback position because they finna go right down that same road we talking about where Dak and I agree with kind of what Mike was saying. It's like how the NBA now they put these criterias in where you got to be like a faith made first team, all NBA to be able to get the supermax and all of these different things. What do you guys feel about Dak Prescott? Would you make him the highest paid quarterback, or would you give him $60 million a year? Because personally, I would.
Hold on. Let me do the mathematics on this. Okay, so hold on. Notepad, notepad, notepad. Okay, so if Trevor Lawrence is 275 million.
Trevor Lawrence.
Okay, so we see he had Dak Prescott already has a bad reputation in this league for being trash. Okay, they brought back Zeke Elliott. They talking about Jew. You said about $61 million, right?
Yeah, about 60 million.
Mm-hmm.
His starting price. He said that's the rumors. He ain't said nothing. That's the rumors out there.
Okay, $61 million. By my calculations on what I've sprung up with, um, the solution of that Prescott X times 3 plus 61 minus the division of 4 equals hell no to the no. Hell to the no. Nope. Nope. I'm telling you. Nope. Like I said, they're better. They're going to be better off. And this is my gut feeling on this. Like I said, I could be wrong. They're gonna make a play for Shedeur Sanders next year. I'm gonna keep on saying it. Cause Jerry Jones can't help his damn self. And ain't no way in hell you paying Dak Prescott that much money. Because guess what happens? If Dak Prescott get that much money, guess how much Tua gonna get? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Michael Parsons gonna want. Michael Parsons sitting there looking like, all right,
exactly.
Back to bring struck up.
So that's the question you need to ask Drew is who is the priority? Michael Parsons, CeeDee Lamb, or Dak Prescott?
If it was me, if I'm Jerry Jones, I'm paying Michael Parsons his money. Period. Over CD and over Dak Prescott. I'm like Mike said, I'm gonna say what I say about running backs. You draft one every year. We see wide receivers year in and year out come into the league. Michael Parsons has had double-digit sacks every single year he's been in the league. He's been an All-Pro, and he's made the Pro Bowl every single year since he's been in the league. So his numbers speak for itself. He would be the first one I would get his deal done first before both of them.
Yeah, that makes sense. What about you, Mike?
Well, any quarterback that time about they depressed, he's automatically getting traded from me. I don't want to hear that book. Like you up here talking about you want $60 million. Talking about you depressed. Man, get out of my dang on face. You got your brothers up here, damn dude. Like you got your brother up here speaking for you in public. And man, get out of my face. I wish you would talk about you want $60 million and you talking about you depressed and you don't know how to handle the questions and this and that. Man, get out of here. I don't want to hear none of that crap. Look, we got way too many weak, sensitive players these days, and they be trying to. Like, you can't even handle like you can't even handle a question in the press conference, but you want $60 million. Like, get out of my face, man, please. Absolutely not. Dak is a problem, man. He's been a dang on crybaby ever since he's been in Dallas, crying over this. They don't like me. I'm depressed. My brother got to come to my aid because my leg hurt. Like, man, get out of my face, man. Tell me, Jew wife is a Cowboy fan, all right? Your best friends is Cowboy fans, right? So this is what you know. So this dude crying every year. He crying about something. Ever since he's been in the league, he's been a dang on crybaby. And I'm gonna pay a crybaby $60 million, man. Please. When the last time we seen Matt Ryan cry?
Hey man, all I know is just like what T.O. says. Cowboy fans, y'all better get y'all popcorn ready because y'all about to have y'all saga on y'all damn hands.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm kind of like with you on this. And this is the thing. This is the thing about this quote unquote passing league. Everybody keeps talking about. Based on the system, you can instantly produce a 1,300 yard receiver.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So is the top tier receivers really that important? If you can generate a 1,300 yard season with anybody that can come in and fit into your system. So that's just going to be a question y'all going to have to ask yourselves, man. So we're going to go ahead and if you don't, and this is my final take on that. If you don't like the takes, this is my brand new song for 2024. If y'all have a problem with any takes we say or anything that we come out of our mouths, guess what song I'm gonna be singing? It's not my problem. No, it's not my problem.
It's not my problem.
No. So we appreciate y'all tuning in, man. Like I said, man, you definitely make sure you go ahead and check out Jude's video on D'Angelo Malone. We're gonna definitely have a discussion on that as well. To kind of piggyback off of Jude as well as, like I said, continue to subscribe to Utah Sports. Continue to subscribe to Mad Mike Sports, Mad Mike Network, and 24/7 Wrestling for those that are wrestling fans, as well as the 6-man convo here. And make sure you get your tickets for the Red and Black event, which will be next week, because I know y'all motherfuckers is waiting to the last minute to do it. That's how we do. That's how we do it. So I ain't mad at you. So make sure you hit up Miss Maggie T at Mad Mike Sports for more info and ticket sales and stuff. And until next time, people, we here to play.
Ooh, no.
We here to stay.
Nigga.
You ain't gotta go home.
But you got to get the hell out of here. That was a remix, y'all. That was a remix.
Exactly. And congratulations to Juice. Spider said he's staying in Cleveland, so that's a good thing.
Yes, sir.
Oh, Spider staying. Okay.
Deuces, y'all. Oh, Lord.